Hello everyone and Happy New Year. Welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing Babylon, directed by Damien Chazelle and starring Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt and Toby Maguire. Cinema is flourishing in the roaring 20s as we follow several fame-hungry, sexually and morally depraved stars fight to keep their relevancy. I was very excited to go and see this movie. As many of you know, Whiplash is one of my all-time favourite films, therefore always making me excited to see what Damien Chazelle has to offer. And I went into Babylon completely blind. I saw the trailer, but actually I thought the trailer did a very good job of being quite vague. But how did I get on with it? Does this one hold up quite as highly as Whiplash? Well, let's get into the positives. The biggest one for me is that the performances in this movie are absolutely out of this world. There are a few people in this who I believe are worthy of a nomination. Margot Robbie is Bombay bad boy pot noodle hot in this. Quite glad I didn't watch this one with Mrs. IMO because that probably would have been a problem. I was literally melting into my seat at some scenes. Good Lord, woman. Whew. Brad Pitt is a lot of fun in this movie. I'm a big fan of his and I thought he was very charismatic and charming. The set design is incredible, as are some of the ideas that the movie has. I thought the music was absolutely fantastic throughout. Of course it is. It's Damien Chazelle. It's energetic, bombastic, electrifying. It's an unforgettable, wild ride at the cinema. And it has a really good message and story to tell in the process. But time to slam the handbrake on because I did have a few problems with Babylon. And the biggest one for me is that it's very long-winded. It's exceptionally bloated and unnecessarily so. The runtime is bordering on 3 hours and you really do feel it. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, but you do look back on earlier scenes in the movie and you realise that you either forgot it happened or it had absolutely zero relevancy to the rest of the film. And ultimately it could have and probably should have been cut because you start to realise that a lot of it is excess for the sake of excess. And it is here for a reason. The film is definitely discussing that sort of lifestyle, but they just go a bit too overboard with it to a point that it feels like it's smacking you over the head. Yeah, it just becomes too much and it focuses too much on the excess rather than what actually matters. There's a lot of drug use in the movie and it honestly feels like maybe the people making the movie, writers and directors, probably had a little sniff themselves. That's all I'm saying. This is so maddeningly quick. It is just go, 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 go. And the film feels like bombardment and overload with its craziness that it's really hard to actually stay in your seat and stay with the film. You feel like you're holding on for dear life just to keep up with it, rather than actually just being given a story, because the story often feels like it's been left at the wayside or fallen into the background. And when it does offer a story, my God, does it jump around from here to there, to that character, which again, just continues to make it hard to really stay in the pocket with this film. As much as I loved the performances and thought these characters were really interesting, I didn't really like anybody. I don't think anybody in this film is particularly likable. And yeah, on some level, I think it's meant to be that way, but God, it was becoming hard work to spend time with these people when all they do is just bark and spit and spitefully attack each other. It's just vicious and nasty, and you don't want any of them to succeed. So I'm gonna give Babylon a 7 out of 10. I'm actually very mixed on this one. I enjoyed it. I appreciate the incredible performances, its unique nature, the set design, the music, all of that for me was absolutely world class. But I didn't really care. And I wasn't that deeply invested or felt that attached to it. In fact, I found myself having a really hard time just staying with the film. But I do think it's an interesting watch. I do think it's intriguing. It is offering something new. And in that regard, if you're intrigued by it, if the trailers worked for you, then I do think you should check it out. I think you will get something out of it. But you might need to slightly lower your bar if you're going in there expecting a masterpiece, or if you're expecting Whiplash 2.0. Clear those thoughts from your mind because it's not that. It's big, it's brash, it's loud, it's noisy, it's energetic, it's full of life. You won't forget it, but it really ain't that deep. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And please do hit the comment section as well. Have you seen Babylon? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't had enough of this little face, you can always click on these suggested videos right here and get yourself lost in an IMO wormhole. But if not, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.